If you watched videos on this channel, then you know about the Hendrix chordal style. I talk about this in many of my videos because I think it's one of the most exciting and fastest to implement tactics to get out of your rut of the regular up and down pentatonic lick playing. The cool thing is that the Hendrix chordal style uses the same 5 pentatonic notes, so you really don't need to learn much more except just learn a few lick archetypes to implement. But today I want to show you something new that can possibly blow your mind, and that is how to use the Hendrix chordal style that is mainly based on major licks, how to use it in a Dorian minor setting. So by the end of this little lesson, you should be able to apply your Hendrix chordal style lick vocabulary that you hopefully have already started building over any kind of Dorian, Aeolian, any kind of minor scenario. And we're gonna start out by just a demonstration on a D Dorian backing track. I'm gonna show you what it sounds like, and then I'm gonna break it down how to use it yourself. Let's go. Yeah, so you must have heard that I was using some double stops here, yeah? But maybe you couldn't figure out what I was really doing. So I want to break this down slowly. I'm just going to do a D drone, and then I'm going to slow down some of the licks and phrases that I did. Because one thing is very important, with all the layers that I'm mixing in my lead guitar playing, I'm never use them in isolation. I always try to go from one layer to the next and connect them in a fluid fashion. We're going to talk more about that, but let me show you first how to play these chordal style licks in minor. So the basic principle is very simple. Over D minor, play an F major chordal lick. And then resolve it to the D note. You can also do this here. Or here. Alright, so this is pretty cool. And if you connect that to pentatonic licks, then you can already get some pretty neat textures with that. Yeah? But that's not all. In order to get more color into our improvisation, we're going to use 2 major chordal licks. We're also going to use the G major chordal lick here. Why can we do that? Like I said, we are in a D Dorian context here. And if you're following me, and maybe you already even downloaded my LLG method ebook, then you should know that D Dorian uses both the F and G major triads. I call this concept the triad pairs. So the cool thing is that the chordal style is basically an embellishment method of the major triads. So we can embellish both the F major and G major and get a Dorian sound. I'm going to show you this again over the drone here in slow motion, and then you can try this as well. Or here. And go to the, resolve it on the D minor, yeah? Or here. And go back to D minor. G major. F major. Resolving to the D. Do you see how extremely cool this approach is? I mean, this is like really a secret. I almost feel like I should charge money for this, yeah? But if you want to go deeper on this, then, you know, if you don't have that knowledge already, it's going to be a little bit difficult to implement that without any feedback. So I can just make the offer, if you see the potential of these approaches to have so much more impact on your lead guitar playing than just studying the scales or, you know, doing what most other guitar teachers here are teaching and showing you, just scale exercises and licks. And, you know, if you really want to learn some concepts that they come out of the jazz thinking, but they're very close to what, you know, many of the legendary guitarists used in their solos. I mean, this one is a little more progressive. You know, this is like basically taking Hendrix's vocabulary to the next level. If you're starting to realize that approaches like these could potentially fully free your guitar playing, then I will invite you to study with me under my guidance for a few months and drastically transform the way you play guitar. If that is you, then definitely download that LLG method book, and at the end of the book you'll find an invitation to schedule a first appointment where we can have a look at your guitar playing and tell you what exactly you need, what foundations you need to build for the style that you want to play in order to become a confident, competent lead guitarist. Fantastic. So I want to show you now how to apply this over the backing track. And to spice it up a little bit, I'm not going to use the D Dorian track now. I'm actually going to use the G Mixolydian track, which G Mixolydian uses the same notes as D Dorian. So you'll be just blown away how well this chordal approach also works over a different mode. In fact, it works over all 7 modes and in all 12 keys. Check it out. It's just too much fun. I mean, really. I hope this was inspiring for you, and I hope this is a further motivation for you to start studying the Hendrix chordal style. Start getting those basic chordal licks under your fingers in your phrasing, and then use these techniques and these approaches that I'm teaching in the LLG approach to expand your lead guitar vocabulary and vision like you never thought possible. I hope this was useful. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought about it. And if you're still here, then go ahead and watch this lesson over the next lead guitar layer.